Yo, these last few days have been pretty intense between Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, our bread and butter on the channel. Earlier this year, of course, we were making lots of videos for Resident Evil 4 Remake and speculating on when we can expect DLC to be coming out on that. We covered the mods, we covered all the news, all the latest things revolving around that game, and it was a great time. But so many things have come out after that it's almost felt like, wow, Resident Evil 4 Remake did come out earlier this year. And sure enough, the DLC, we hadn't heard any information about it for quite some time. We're talking about the Ada Wong Separate Ways DLC, which we speculated would be releasing in the summertime. Didn't happen. Then we thought, okay, maybe October because of Spooky Month, which makes sense. But sure enough, during the PlayStation State of Play, Separate Ways, the Ada Wong DLC has been announced to releasing on September 21st. That is just a few days from now, guys. It's going to be available on every single platform. And not only that, Resident Evil 4 VR mode will be arriving as free DLC in the wintertime. And not only that, Mercenaries mode is getting an update, and it's a free update, which will be including Ada Wong and Wesker. So if you already own Resident Evil 4, you got free 2 characters now to play as in Mercenaries mode. And of course, I plan to keep you guys updated on all that information, and I'll be playing Ada Wong's DLC very soon because I've been anticipating it a lot. I'm kind of wondering if maybe the delays or maybe the long gap with not talking about whatever they've been working on with it has to do with them reworking voice lines, because that was a big major criticism. But so far from what I heard in the trailer, it didn't seem like anything jumped out at me too bad. But we'll have to see how that plays out in the game. Hit that subscribe button and notification bell to stay in the loop with all things Resident Evil and Final Fantasy related, and also help raise that 11% even higher. Now, with that being said, let's get into this video. We're gonna read through this article on PlayStation Blog because it does detail some pretty important and interesting stuff when it comes to Separate Ways and Resident Evil 4. Separate Ways tells the story of Ada Wong and her parallel journey through the events of Resident Evil 4, filling in an unanswered question from the main story. The full story will be revealed as you view both sides of events from Ada and Leon's viewpoints, which I always really enjoyed about Resident Evil games was the fact that you had 2 different characters going through similar things in the same area, but you could actually witness it from their perspectives. In this one, we're gonna full on be seeing that, and I wonder just how many other things Ada influenced or affected. Because in the original Resident Evil 4, Ada Wong's Separate Ways was already a thing, and we already know that it was a much more smaller, contained story compared to the actual story of Resident Evil 4. But we got to see her do various things, such as ringing the church bell to save Leon in the beginning. Actually, there's a point where when you're playing as Ada Wong in the intro, Leon and a group of zombies run right by Ada Wong. He doesn't even see her. I thought that was really hilarious that they added that in. But it's gonna be really cool to see because there's a whole bunch of other new stuff. Like, for example, remember there was a tower that exploded when you got back to the village after playing as Leon for a little bit. So I really want to see exactly where they take all this. Before Leon as Kennedy even set foot in the Cursed Village, she was already there. Her mission, the retrieval of the cute cult's darkest secret, the Amber. Now Ada must deal with the unknown threat that is devouring her from within. An accomplice with the dark past and ulterior motives, Wesker, a chance reunion with the man she least expected, Leon S. Kennedy. I don't recall if in the original Separate Ways, was she infected in any way? We did see that in the trailer. If you look at the trailer that they revealed during the PlayStation State of Play, which I'll probably be showing in the background of this video right now, she does seem to be infected, and Luis expresses as much with his dialogue. Why did she accept this mission, and what path will she make for herself in the shadow of Leon's investigation into the abduction of the president's daughter? So these are all the characters we can expect to see. You see Ada, she's gonna be the protagonist, infiltrating a desolate European village on orders from her employer, Albert Wesker. Luis, he's her co-conspirator and pledged to help her obtain the Amber. We're gonna see more stuff of Wesker, which I wonder if we could see future details for games that they have planned on his screen, because remember at the end, it's kind of blurry right here, but I believe this is the and also on this screen too, this is where the ending of Resident Evil 5 takes place, where the progenitor virus is bred. But Wesker, the mysterious man behind Ada's mission, it's his dangerous obsession with the Amber that sends Ada on her most dangerous adventure yet. Danger is mentioned a lot. Ada's grappling gun, okay. That actually looked really badass in the trailer. She's swinging around like Spider-Man, so she's gonna have some really cool mobility options compared to Leon, and I'm all for it. I can't wait. In addition to the variety of firearms from the original game and the knife parry that you're familiar with from Leon's campaign, in RE4, Ada will also wield a grappling gun. This can be used to get to various locations as well as take down enemies from a distance and launch a ranged melee attack. This makes for more of an exciting and fast-paced gameplay experience. You're telling me, man. I was worried because when we were data mining and talking about Mercenaries mode before it was unveiled, we got to see all the different characters, like special abilities and different moves that they had, what things that made them unique from others. What I did not like was that Ada's Mercenaries mode power-up was just a copy of like Leon's, and I thought that was kind of lame. It was like just like you get increased damage and you do more damage with your guns and you get more points back. I feel like with everybody else getting some unique stuff towards their kit and their character, why didn't Ada get something related to her grapple gun? So I hope that is the case. I hope that you know has been changed, and in Mercenaries mode, Ada Wong will actually use her grapple hook in her ult or whatever, which would be really nice. And you can see right here, you can see Wesker, you see Ada Wong, free update on that day. We'll be doing all of that. We'll be doing all of that here on the channel. We'll be playing on PC too, because I didn't actually do my first playthrough on PC. We did it on PlayStation because that's where we got it early on. Coinciding with the release of Separate Ways, new playable characters Ada Wong and Albert Wesker joined the free DLC, The Mercenaries. This update is available to anyone who owns Resident Evil 4, so make sure you also download the free DLC for Mercenaries as well. Please look forward to this update. Now, VR mode. I don't have a PSVR 2, and I think this is exclusive to PS VR, but if that is the case, I'm gonna look into it and see if I could buy one or get one. That'll be really fun to play this on VR, I think, especially like in the winter time. Like we'll have some pretty funny ass streams with that shit. Resident Evil 4's VR mode allows you to experience the entire story of the base game with PSVR 2. Watch a trailer for a glimpse of the gameplay and action that has evolved with VR adaptation. You know, it's gonna be interesting. They released this Leon's perspective, obviously, in PSVR 2. And then a couple months down the line, they doubled down and they released like Ada Wong's DLC as something you could also do in VR. I think that'd be really cool. Doing different like puzzles with VR and like controlling the hands. Because this one you have to like turn the shape and match it to fit into the groove of the puzzle. Resident Evil 4 is a reimagined version of the original 2005 game, preserving the essence of the game while bringing to life with state-of-the-art graphics. Yeah, they're pretty much just going to be talking about here about how the VR enhances RE4. And I mean, oh my god, it's going to be terrifying. Knife fights, Garradors, MP5 action, all of that stuff is exciting. Ada Wong's DLC, you know what's interesting about this PS blog article is they don't talk about the pricing, but actually it's been confirmed that the price of Ada Wong's DLC Separate Ways will be $10. It's not going to be $20, it's not going to be $15, it'll be $10. And I know there are some people that wanted it to be free because it was a free thing included with the original PS2 release, not technically the original release because that didn't come on the GameCube. $10 ain't too bad, especially with how much new additions they've added overall to the remake story. So far, I mean, for a lot of people, Resident Evil 4 Remake is like their game of the year, and honestly, it has that quality. They did such a fantastic job with it. It's really polished, and it was a lot of fun playing it with you all and enjoying it on stream. But this is just going to be one of those things that I also find very exciting, is like going back through this in a whole different perspective. And I will be doing that on PC as soon as it drops. I just hope that it's a little bit extended, because in the original Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways was pretty short. It was a small, like, bite-sized experience, but there's a lot of things that go down in Resident Evil 4 Remake that I wonder, and I can't wait to see exactly what will be happening. Like, for example, U3, right? There's another U3 enemy. We don't see what the hell happens with that. More than likely, Ada Wong fights it at the very end of the game. There's a bunch of other things that happen, such as that tower we mentioned earlier that does explode out of nowhere. We have no context as to why that happens. I don't recall. All of that stuff. And plus, oftentimes, Leon isn't really aware that Ada is like looking at him from behind or like spying on him, essentially. Like they're crossing paths, just missing each other. So I can't wait to see just how many other things they pack into it. But I want to hear from you guys in the comments below. What are you most excited for with Separate Ways? We know Ada Wong's voice was a very hot topic when the game initially released, and there were issues around that. But I'm kind of hoping and, you know, anxiously waiting to see if Ada Wong being front and center in a camera, just how different will things be this time around. Fingers crossed. And I will be seeing you guys on September 21st. I'll be playing this here on the channel. So be sure to like the video if you enjoyed and subscribe if you are new. More Final Fantasy and Resident Evil videos are on the way, and you do not want to miss them. My name is BltzZ, and thanks for watching.